So there's been some controversy in South Korea's Moran Market because they are serving up dogs, which they keep in cages, and then you get to pick out the puppies that you want murdered, and they torture them and murder them. Long story short, South Korea is eating dogs, which is not all that shocking compared to everything else that is going on in Korea. If you were educated in the U.S. public school systems, South Korea is located on Earth just south of hell, or North Korea. South Korea, we have some stake in seeing as how your grandfather's leg is still over there from the Korean War. South Korea has Moran Market, and annually they have a big to-do where they have all these dogs that they catch, and some people, they catch dogs that are the pets of people. You can see videos where they just grab leashes and steal dogs, then they shove them into cages that they barely fit into, and then they slaughter the dogs at will. Kind of like when you pick out a lobster at some shitty seafood restaurant, when you're like, oh, I get to pick the one that gets murdered. That brings joy to my heart for some odd reason. I've never done it. But they get to pick out the dog that they slaughter, and then they slaughter the dog. And Americans have a big to-do about this because they're not slaughtering cows or chickens or pigs. They're slaughtering dogs. We don't eat cows, we eat beef. And we don't eat pigs, we eat pork. And we don't have slaughterhouses anymore. We have annulment academies where little piglets are graded and shipped out. Grade D. Grade D goes to public elementary schools, inner city schools. Grade D meat. The problem is that Korea and China are cooking things that are not on the menu, as if they don't understand culture or something. They don't get it. Or they somehow have a different and inappropriate culture. And I think we should step in and, just spread our influence further, as we are well regarded around the globe as tyrannical sociopaths. Dogs, I mean, why would they eat dogs? Dogs aren't Thanksgiving where you get to pick a bird carcass to the bone and then you take one of its clavicles or something and you make a wish and you snap the bone in half, and then somebody gets drunk enough to alienate a family member, and then it creates a rift, and Thanksgiving's never the same again. But the one thing that continues is that we murder birds and eat them. In the US, we don't eat dogs. What we do is we collect stray dogs and put them into little cages where they're judged based on cuteness. For about a week, they get confined to a little cage for a week, and then parents who have recently got divorced take their children there and they say, pick out a cute one, and they pick out a cute one, and the ones that don't get picked get murdered by veterinarians that didn't do as well in school, and they get murdered and then thrown into a dumpster that collects maggots and wasted. And Koreans are eating them and making use of dead dogs, and that's a violation. Why don't they just murder dogs and pile them up like some sort of canine holocaust like we do? It's like they have a whole different culture or something, you know? Like Americans do the humane thing and we murder the ugly pets. We murder the mutts. We pick up a dog that's purebred. We sell that for money. That's selective breeding. That's what the Nazis wanted. In America, we treat dogs fairly, and when we don't treat dogs fairly, you get kicked out of the NFL. Why eat dog? Because it's more formal when your entree has a name. Why eat dog? Because the bones come already fetched. Because they don't have to play dead. How often do you get to eat your best friend? Their bark is never worse than your bite. It's the only time they don't beg at the dinner table. Because dog food is better than dog food. You can finally literally say, I gotta go see a man about a dog. You eat dogs because they don't learn new tricks. You eat dogs because it's what Bob Barker would have wanted. He just didn't say it. You eat dog to end the homo-carnivorous dog-eat-dog food chain. Rin Tin Tin was a socialist. Snoopy, that white-ass dog, is a member of the Aryan Nation. Scooby-Doo sold drugs to morons. The Lady and the Tramp spaghetti scene led to premarital conception. The 101 Dalmatians were actually Mormon polygamists. I don't know why anybody couldn't figure that out. Lassie was a snitch. Marley and Me mauled a toddler's face for a biscuit. It's in the deleted scenes. List of cons. Why should we not eat dogs? We shouldn't eat dogs because they're not conveniently hacked to bits in our grocery store. We shouldn't eat dogs because they probably don't taste good. If they did, they would be on the shelf. You know, like venison. Baby unicorn. It's also a mammal, but it's not a pet. It could be a pet. It'd be an adorable pet. There are fucking weird delicacies all over the world, and dog is not the weirdest of them. A dory don is a live squid that people eat with soy sauce. It's a Japanese delicacy. A delicacy is a foreign food that no American eats without a wager of some kind. Like, I'll pay you this much money if you eat whatever the rest of those people are eating. So a dory don is a squid that still moves, and basically you swallow it, and hopefully the suction cups don't get stuck in your windpipe and you don't choke to death. Personally, I'd rather eat a dead dog. My mouth is not a slaughterhouse. I've never eaten something with an exit strategy where I'm like, the food's not agreeing with me. Do you need some Tums? No. It's trying to climb its way out of my esophagus. Couldn't we have just stopped at the dog butcher? A delicacy is basically always something objectionable on many levels. To just be like, this sack of mucus is an endangered hippopotamus embryo. Basically what you're going to do is cut a hole in it and drink the embryo semen as quickly as possible, and the embryo is alive, so you got to bite it by the neck while it tries to escape, try to finish it, and then climb a tree really quickly, because the mother's going to be really pissed when it finds out what happened to it. And then basically, you stay up in the tree covered in embryonic fluid that tastes like curdled semen, and wait for the hippopotamus to commit suicide. It's a Chinese delicacy, even though hippopotami are not in China. I would rather chew the shit out of a rabid timber wolf's ass fur than eat most of the delicacies that come out of Asia. I don't know how Anthony Bourdain does it. Everybody's like, that's my dream job. That shit is like fear factor for me. I couldn't eat the things that, they have bat soup. Yeah, sure, something I'm afraid to look at when it's flying. Yeah, I want that in my mouth. That's a lot less intimate. A bat, which I'm petrified is gonna get fucking stuck in my balding nappy hair. Yeah, I want that in my mouth. That's the type of intimacy I want to have with a bat or a live squid. I don't know. For me, I object when my food still has opinions. I don't like eating things that are like, I'd rather not be eaten now. I like my food dead. In some parts of the world, they eat live snakes. Cobras, too, as a matter of fact. I gotta be honest, I would rather swallow razor blades. That's just a bad Halloween. You eat a cobra, that's years of therapy, nightmares. No, you eat a razor blade, you're like, I got a bad Snickers bar. Let's take a look at some U.S. atrocious hypocrisy. This was Oinky. He was eaten whole, live, by John Goodman as an Atkins sensible snack. He is survived by a gas station Slim Jim. For her birthday, this cow, Beatrice Arthur, asked for hoop earrings. You can clearly see she is ostracized by the other cows. She was found hanging nude from a jungle gym. This rooster raped 80% of Tyson's chickens. It has over 12 million nuggets and pays $0 in child support. This fucking rooster is on the lam.
Whole Foods. You guys heard of Whole Foods? We don't have them in Syracuse, so Whole Foods, now in a marketing gimmick, sells steak with a backstory to it. Like a backstory, like your fucking ribeye is auditioning for a role at your barbecue. It's fucking sick. But you can buy a steak with a story. It's like, oh, this cow was raised in the rolling pastures of Nebraska and was cage-free and grass-fed. And yeah, I'm not eating that steak. That cow was way too happy. I want a miserable little Anne Frank steak. Fucking... I want a steak that prayed for death from birth. That way it's happy when it's in my Happy Meal. You know what I'm saying? I want my fucking cow's backstory to be like, yeah, we named that cow Elsie. The only reason we named it is to traumatize the fucking neighborhood kids when we slaughtered it. Yeah. And we did it by inviting a 4th grade class over to beat it to death with crowbars, which took 11 hours because they have no upper body strength. We woke up the cow fucking 3 hours early every morning by branding it between the eye with 900-degree andirons in the shape of a fucking penis. And yeah. And Elsie had 8 cage-free siblings that would frolic around and they would look at burnt penis face and make fun of her. And every day that cow prayed for death and you, sir, got a USDA choice cut and made that cow's day. That's the fucking cow I'm eating. By the way, do you know how tender an 11-hour Anne Frank crowbar steak would be? Really fucking tender. You're like, oh my God, it's like butter. I can't believe it's not butter.